Do you prefer the Ragnaros, or do you prefer? All right, they are willing to give up Ragnaros. I mean, it has to be first pick Ragnaros, right?
I would imagine so. I mean, sure, Malfear into Haka ETC. There's a lot of strong options. But Rag, it's just so good. Even when his nerf comes into play, the level 13 talent that's on the PTR right now, I think that nerf should be hitting next week, actually. So this will be the last week of this patch, I believe. Open Division is always played on the live server, everyone. We do not play in a tournament realm.
Is this a matter of like, all right, we have Ragnaros and they're just strategizing, using every bit of their time that they have? It's like their bonus time pool because they know what they're going with?
Yeah, maybe.
JK, ETC.
Now that's...
Ragnaros Mouth?
I would expect that for sure. ETC, amazing in the rotate. What are they going to pair that with? Do they have something in mind? Are they going to try to snap like an early Varian and have like a ton of stun potential? Or an early Dahaka to have that control of the top lane and the threat for the rotate?
I mean, one way or another, I don't know. I mean, you're definitely... If this is not a Ragnaros Mouth, is this a Ragnaros Dahaka? I mean, what are you giving up here? Okay, so Ragnaros Mouth. But do you give up the... Do they go into a Dahaka? I actually would like to see a Dahaka.
I agree. You get your solo lane, you get the global pressure, and we saw in that last game how good ETC Dahaka is together. Like, anytime someone stepped forward, power slide to set up the drag to seclude that target. If cleanse isn't there, doesn't matter who you are, you're probably dead.
Interesting. All right, so Ragnaros is not as worried going up against somebody like ETC at 13. But where do you find your advantages? Like, Dahaka, I feel, is a definite advantage on this map. You have the strong solo laner, the global pressure. I mean, it's almost too much to give up. Like, if he's not picked up here, I expect him to be banned. These teams are just eating every single bit of their clock. All right, Li Ming, Dahaka.
Yeah, I like it.
Does this lead to a Rhaegar ban, though?
Probably. I'm trying to think, like... Yeah, I would think so. And then maybe a Tychus ban from imported. Unless they want to try to restrict solo laners, but I just feel like Tychus ban is going to be the go-to.
Well, the infinite long use of every timer that you have. Let's go for it.
It gives you time to think.
There's they had to be thinking Rhaegar. They're strategizing on their own. But what do we see a ban here? Is this a Varian ban?
Yeah, when you consider Ragnaros, it does make some sense because the threat of Varian Ragvala very much prominent here. Roots on top of that too. But in this same situation, we have seen Tychus bans, as I was talking about, but those Tychus bans ended up really feeling like a mistake and letting things like Varian through. However, Diablo can kind of get the same effect. It's not as easy to execute, and it doesn't turn on as quickly, I feel.
That's what they ran last game, wasn't it?
You know, I kind of like the Vala ban here.
Take away their range damage, limit them.
Vala's really good on this map.
Agreed. She does really well, especially your 4-man that you have at the bottom.
And maintain those hatred stacks. Oh, Joe. Okay.
It's a battery special.
It is, but so is his Diablo. I see Varian Vala.
Okay, so last game, like Diablo died after having 100 souls, he came back. And when Diablo doesn't have souls, he is a far weaker hero. So they were able to kill Diablo, and then when he came back on the battleground, they're like, look, this is a lot easier. They finished him off, they finished the game.
Yeah.
There's always that threat when you're on Diablo, is once you die the first time, mid-game, it's going to be a while before you're God tier again.
If you don't got all those little demon souls in your belly, you're sad, man.
Time for Valeera.
We have yet to see her. I've seen her played in a total of 1 competitive game, and it was a full-on blow-up comp. Varian Tychus. Okay, I can dig it.
I'm not always a fan of a lot of auto attack damage, but Vala will be there. But will we see a Li-Ming Vala, which I think would be an excellent pairing for this group? Your 4-man would consist of, I mean, let's say you go Ariel here, or Brightwing. You now have Li-Ming Vala in your 4-man with an ETC. The blow-up potential is real, and there's not a terrible amount of threat to that back line. Like, Varian can charge, Ragnaros, not so much. I mean, obviously, as Meteor, you can just dodge that, but you have both a teleport and
you get the mobility, you got the options, yeah. Neither of them are going to really be at the mega risk.
Unless they have to go Falstad again.
Falstad's fine. He's just not as good, not as valuable in this map with the gust and the fly.
Oh my!
Uther.
I think Uther is a 100% lose rate. Loss rate.
I thought you were going to say 100% viable option here, and I'm like, Jay, how?
His demonic red eyes are kind of creeping me out, though.
So I feel like the logic here is we need a response to the Varian taunt, you know, blow up there with Ragnaros. But when you've got Li-Ming, and like you mentioned, the Li-Ming Vala option, and you could just go Ariel with Crystal Aegis, she's got, you know, Detainment Strike, which is, you know, lots of pairs very nicely.
It's got to be for the Bloodlust. Not Bloodlust, oh my god. The Divine Shield Mosh.
Okay, the Divine Mosh is cool.
But that if that's what you're using it for, then now you don't have Divine Shield for whoever is getting... Yeah.
Now, the last time I saw Uther, we actually saw D-Storm. Zeratul.
VP and the Sulfurous Smash.
It's OP, but...
Better be saving that D shield. That's all I gotta say. The good thing is, unless Falstad's caught in that, you can gust people away and interrupt that type of combo. So Dahaka can burrow. Uther can D shield. We'll see. We will see.
I like how chat is calling it roping, because in Hearthstone, when your time is about to go out, the rope goes across the screen. If we had the burning rope in the draft, I would laugh too hard, man.
That was probably the longest draft I think we've had in the Open Division.
Yeah, I think it's probably 2 a.m. by now.
There's a lot on the line, man. There's a lot on the line.
Alrighty, game number 2 with import and support up 1-0. Can Even in Death bring it back?
They need to. Charge Blast for Li-Ming. I love that pickup going up against the... Charge Blast. Force Armor for Li-Ming at 1. I love that against the Zeratul. We are seeing the Seasoned Marksman build that does really well on this map. Can definitely poke away at that front line. You do have a variant on the other side, though.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3.
So, Jay, how
2, 1.
How do you feel about Uther with armor? I mean, they're against Tychus Varian. Ragnaros is a lot of autos. It's going to mitigate a fair bit of deeps. Does that warrant the pick here?
No.
Jay hates it. Jay's so mad.
12-second cooldowns, man.
Yeah.
Well, if let's say you're using.
Imagine regrowth on 12-second cooldown.
Oh man, I just Wave of Light. Okay, if you don't hit all of your prime targets, and you have to queue onto somebody else just because,
Control them.
Feels
you've
bad,
lost.
man. And you see that happen a
lost the
lot,
ability to
actually.
hit. Yes, that's the main problem.
Maybe they need to up the width of it.
Back into it.
Make it like Tsunami of Light.
You can spec into it.
It's a Tsunami of Light?
They should make it. They should make it baseline.
Yeah, I'd expect a Tsunami of Light. Just
Activate
washes your whole wave in
Oh no.
holy glory.
They
Daka?
have this 4-man rotation going on to benefit season marksman.
Oh,
and
Fawcett?
We have 2 globe
Yeah,
talents.
Moonfire Scout ones. Yeah, the globe talents are going to be really nice here. That charge at level 4 would have been a lot dicier for specialty. You saw Homicidal following Battery there, so looking for that Zeratul follow-up on Varian. It's a classic for the blow-up. Ignition needs to make sure he doesn't get too aggro here, but looks like Rag is holding his own in the top lane, forcing the well to be tapped here for Dahaka.
Yeah, that's actually a little bit surprising. Homicidal, I think Ignition saw him. Battery getting clipped by that arcane orb. And did he just die to Wave of Light? I saw some magic missiles coming there, but I'm going to claim that was Wave of Light that finished that off.
Wave of Tsunami, man. Or Tsunami of Light. Scouting
of
drone
Light.
placed. Tychus should be able to slip in and grab that bottom. Oh, actually, Rag's got top. Okay.
Boundless Conviction is the real name, though. We should just call it Boundless Tsunami.
Boundless Tsunami.
What is it when you have a Zeratul? Oh, there's the power slide on. No healer down here at the bottom to keep Frozen X alive, but no problem. Homicidal coming in to put a little bit of damage in return.
Oh, Frozen. Frozen.
Oh, no.
All right, he's able to dash him out of there. But Battery taking a lot of damage himself. Bottom will be thwarted. Actually, both going to be turning blue here.
I'm actually surprised that they're not being more aggressive in that bottom lane.
Yeah.
Leaving Hal middle and using...
Hecker.
That was a fun interaction there,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Pulling Homicidal with him. He's like, "You're going for a ride with me, boy."
Is that how he talks?
I mean, he is a giant rock cow, so probably.
He actually talks in the game.
No. Turn voices off.
Bring the Megadeth.
We're going for a ride down Route 96.
That is the worst. I'm just really surprised that they are not more aggressive in that bottom lane. Mouth middle, and you have Zeratul constantly looking for picks without ever going to the top. You just push in with your 4-man and dominate that bottom lane. Although, can Ragnaros get to the top? Ragnaros got to the top. Yeah.
Rudy,
Nicely done.
Duty, Patootie, False State able to barrel roll out of there, and Homicidal is going to start wailing away on the mid lane with the first dragon of the game.
Patootie.
So I had an obscene amount of caffeine last night, and I couldn't sleep. So I'm like running on like,
A 24-hour caffeine fix?
I basically didn't sleep last night. It's good though.
What does that tell you?
Tells me I gotta take a nap tomorrow. Oh, Battery. Will it be body block? No, he actually slips on through. Bit of a mistake there from Hecarim.
Aka's going to defend top. Siege camp almost cleaned up there. Not a lot of value out of this DK. I think that they expected to get more. They got 1 tower middle, 1 tower top.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Experience pretty even overall. I like the invade here.
I want to see them full commit to this. They need to just go in. I see they're even using the arcane orb to go over, but they've got it.
Yep. You can see Zeratul and Ragnaros working on the Bruiser camp here on the top side. Acknowledging they can't get there fast enough, and if they were to commit, they'd be putting themselves in an odd spot where the flank of Dahaka coming behind them potentially through the brush talker on the left side might be too much of a risk, so they just take the safe option and get their Bruisers. I like the call quite a bit. And just worrying about getting level 10 as safely as possible right now.
The Globe talents seem to be well on their way. Prog Rock and Conjurer's Pursuit, not too shabby. Seasoned Marksman, about a third of the way done. Maybe a little bit more than that. Oh, the rotation, though, Jake.
A Tycho damage.
All right, that was... you have 4 people there. They passed through, and they didn't commit. Maybe they were expecting somebody else there.
Well, they get that last tower mid, and we see Imported grabbing the bottom camp. Will they get sniffed out? Malph's gonna scout with the Moonfire, but no rotation viable in that time frame.
I feel like even in death just wants to kill people because they're not trying to do much else. And Imported support, I feel, has so many advantages, but they're just like, look, we're just going to focus on getting globes for our quest talents and not much else. It's a little bit surprising to me.
Yeah, it's very safe. So the Divine Mosh not here. It is going to be stage dive. Divine Shield. I mean, it seems like they just want 2 cleanses, right? You got cleanse and you got Divine Shield. Now, in the past, when we saw Divine Shield, it was often an enabler to say, hey, go kill stuff. Kind of like what you see with Sanctification on a Greymane with Tyrael. We'll have to see how the Uther pick works out here. Lutano self-smash to try to stay alive, but Specialty has the delivery.
Just gonna throw this out there. Outside of a Twilight Dream and Cleanse, even if you don't need Divine Shield, the minute Odin is popped, there's no more interrupt.
That's true.
From Tychus. So there's only one ranged interrupt at that point, unless you get like a Void Prison. But
yeah.
But even then, I feel like there was an actual place there, but making the triple global another threat. It won them, not entirely won them the game, but it helped seal the game last time. So maybe they're looking to replicate that.
Well, they're looking for the fight here in the bottom. Will be able to force Frozen X back as they take control of the bottom, but it will just be the turning of the shrines as red turns top and blue turns bottom. Those words were backwards.
Same.
Another
invade on this camp, and it looks like they're actually going to come down to fight this. The flank is on the backside. Battery, Homicidal, and Lutano all looking to go in. False status there, so Sulfuris Smash comes down, not able to secure the kill.
Yeah, Cleanse was wasted. Swab's been goo. Gonna be able to slip on out. Odin in the back line. Just kind of being there. Not really doing a whole lot of damage. Does take care of that last giant at least. Woohoo!
So that's what you pop it. All right, who's gonna pass through here? All right, the dismount there from the Wave of Light seems useful. Homicidal looking for anybody.
All right, good pressure. Ignition quite low. Power slide in onto Tychus. Frozen X needs some peel. VP is the option they go for. Sulfur Smash not available to follow up on that. Just a defensive VP to get Tychus away.
Not the best kind of VPs you want to have, but sometimes they're necessary.
I think they're just worried
that
they potentially could have lost a dragon if they lost Tychus there. I think that was their fear. Ragnaros going towards the Bruiser camp. Will he take a pit stop at it? No, they need to contest the dragon.
Ignition is really far forward. There's the charge.
Stage
there
dive.
It goes. Stage dive in. And the roots to
Battery is getting body blocked pretty fierce here, and he will end up going down. So Fierce Smash getting no value in Falstad. Going to take the helm of the Dragon Knight. Important support. Looking good so far.
That was really well played. The cleanse was used on to Varian, and then they just like, well, we'll just body block, and it was good use. They waited out for the cleanse. They got the knockback on ETC's W. We saw the force of or wave of force. Very well done.
Well, and they've got that commanding 1 level lead, which will be translated into at least 1.5 as they rotate for these other structures. So if we got a free fort here down bottom, a lot of experience soaked behind that on the left side of the screen here. Top fort, Dahaka is left alone for the time being. He does have that global presence to rotate when he pleases, and suddenly 16 is being threatened.
Yeah, that's super good value out of that DK. Taking down both of those forts plus Dahaka getting that soak top, where right now, even in death, wasn't able to contribute anything to that. That's about as much value as you can ask for. Maybe taking that tower down, but not too bad. Very well played. They didn't risk anything. They got a lot out of it. They stretched their lead. They went from 1 lead to 2, as you said. Homicidal casually walking by everybody.
Be aware, gets hit by the root. And the gust will be more than enough to get him out of there. However, we do have Zeratul being attacked there at the top, not quite connecting with the magic missiles leaving. Considering 16 has just been picked up, they are looking for that fight. Hecarim stunned out, but can he get anything done here? Nope, because his power slide was interrupted by Battery's Con.
Is a really good cleanse. Another good cleanse coming out there. Malfurion is making sure to keep his team alive as best he can. It's only 3 kills to 0, but the picks have really paid off, I think. There's the stun, the follow-up. Quite a bit of damage out there, but not enough there. This 2-level lead, though, I like the push here in the bottom. If they get this keep wall down, they start to open up opportunities. They get the next DK, then they're going to be able to get a keep and potentially more, but the keep is the bigger deal. So they're playing the long-term strategy here. I like the aggression to push this in.
Yeah, lots of free poke. Opening that up, they're going to go collect the other mercenary caps down bottom to keep that pressure on, but Homicidal doing his best to get the team back on up to an even footing. I don't know if he'll get this fort here, but a good bit of damage applied and a lot of good global soak there for the team as he was out and about doing Zeratul things.
I really wonder if that was a matter of Dahaka playing it safe, sitting middle, just faking it a little bit, waiting to see if maybe Falstad had his global, and they would have rotated up on that. But Zeratul not willing to commit any bit more time in there, not willing to risk it. I like that.
Yeah, safe calls. And with the shrines up in 10, 16 will be here just about in time. I'm trying to think, like, we've seen so many Sulfurous smashes that just weren't enough, and this time it turns disastrous. This could be game, J-How.
They've got the camp pushing at their back. Molten Core gets interrupted. It's not gonna go through. Nicely done there to recognize that. The keep will fall relatively easy. I don't think they can end just yet. So they're going for it, but now all of a sudden if Battery goes down,
man.
This makes it far more realistic because they are putting pressure onto the core. Homicidal does have DB. He can buy a little bit of time. There it is. It's onto the core, not onto the heroes, but Ragnaros.
They turned the core off to make it a fair playing field so that the rest of their players could get killed.
Not a fair playing field when it's 2 versus 5, Jake.
That's to the
what
G.
you call unfair.
Hey man, I gotta say, I am very impressed with imported support coming through, taking a 2-0 victory over Even in Death after not even being part of the top 4 in the Cup #1 here for North America. Well played.